All right. Well, I did just fire up a puppy draft and pulled the 101. Just started a little bit later than I would have liked, but yeah, here we go. Hopping into a 101 draft should be fun. You really want to make sure you take advantage of your opportunities when you get the 101. So I'm really gonna try to. I mean, not that I try to mess up usually, but now I really want to secure the bag. Some would say, I guess, or just use this Jeff Jefferson share to my advantage, to the best of my ability. So we shall see how this draft comes about here. Should we put on? This works. But yeah, I'm gonna probably fire a few more puppies this week. Maybe do a couple on stream. It is about 66% full puppy 2, so it'll probably fill in the next probably within the next week. I might try to jump a couple more shares, a couple more entries in before I'm done. Did get this overlay fixed, so it looks a lot better. Looks like clean, crisp, so that's nice. Happy about that. Yeah, I set up the cam thing so I can do cam when I'm ready, and yeah, so I'm happy about that. I'm gonna probably work on my thumbnails a bit as well, but I did get the overlay figured out, which is half of my goal recently. So anyways, got a long wait until my next pick. It's nice that these quarterbacks are falling to round 3 now. Makes things a lot different. So Devontae Smith went 16. All right. This is always when I'm pretty happy to get any of these 3 receivers to pair with JJ. Seems like this room is willing to take running backs for sure. We got 3 badges in here. Not too crazy. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, I really like the thumbnails. Start doing some DK and other drafts on other sites as well. So that should be a lot of fun. But I had to make sure I get an extra little video here for you guys. And especially if I get JJ, got to make sure I get these drafts streamed up. But it's like, honestly, like half of my drafts I stream, half of them I don't, or half of them I at least record. But I prefer to record like all of them if I can, just in case, if I capture lightning in a bottle, I want to have that draft recorded personally, just for personal want, and I think it's just cool to like look back on personally. But all right, so I like the when you could do the Jefferson Devonta Smith thing, but not really looking like an option here. So this is a tough spot to be in here. We'll go ahead and take Hurts. And just grab one of these receivers in this tier. Take Keenan Allen, sure. I don't think it's even really feasible that I get the other 2 back. I guess it's probably possible. Yeah, I think Keenan Allen can jump any of these guys. I think most people are taking running backs there, which may have been the right decision, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. I might have just got too cute. Right when I say I don't want to mess up a Jefferson draft, I just get too cute. But I will say 9 times out of 10, you're able to get like one of Higgins or Olave or Waddle with that pick, and it's like much easier to decide, because I didn't really want to. I wanted to get another receiver because I think it's important, and getting one of those elite quarterbacks in the 3rd round is pretty interesting too. So I kind of was between a rock and a hard place there, but I'm okay with the decision. Keenan could be really good this year. still think missing out on those few free running backs is a little bit sad. But I think I can live with it. I could have done like the Brees JJ thing. Brees JJ Hurts probably was like the best option otherwise. Interesting. All right. Josh Jacobs is slipping because of a lot of Raiders FUD happening right now. I mean, this Jefferson Hurts. I mean, I'd say it's unique. And I think Keenan Allen could be better than Debo, could be better than Amari Cooper, could be better than Hopkins. Kind of makes a little bit harder to convince myself on the Christian Watson one, but especially given the correlation. So, but I've also, probably just Galaxy Brain too much. But I will backtrack on that and say I don't mind Galaxy Branding and Puppy because these tournaments are ginormous. So if you're not trying to think outside the box, it's not that you can't win without doing something kind of strange with your picks. But if you do think outside the box, you give yourself a better opportunity to kind of like leverage. Because you're like, oh well, 9 out of 10 people pick Justin Jefferson and Deebo Samuel here. Instead, I took Keenan Allen, and that ended up netting me, 40 points throughout the season, and that made a difference. I mean, that kind of could be the difference, really. So there's interesting that because they're still here. If I can get Mike Williams stacked up, well, I don't feel too great about that, but we'll see. I would take ETN at a discount if he's fallen there. Probably not a buyer on, not personally a buyer of Najee Harris, but I would take Travis Etienne if he's here at pick 50 or 48. Would be around there. Hopkins goes. Okay, there goes Etienne. Okay. I've seen him fall to 50 before, so it's not completely out of the realm of possibilities. So usually I'm hoping Goddard gets back to me on this next wraparound, which would be pick 72. He is pretty commonly there, so not going to worry about that too much. All right. This might be where we grab our first RB. Not too big on taking Mike Williams goes. So Mixon is flying up the draft boards, so please. I mean, I guess I could just take 2 of the top. Come on, man. Why can't I just get the guy I want? Burrow went early. He's got screwed on that. Jason is going 60 this whole time. So if you want to get JJ with JSN, probably just do it now. These are the kind of things I like doing because you get combos of receivers that are much less common. JSN's literally been going pick 60 pretty much this whole entire time. So if you are the JJ drafter, you would have to pick him either at 72, 73, which doesn't happen very often, or you're taking him here. So this is a situation I'm very, very okay with. All right, we're back on track. I feel like I derailed a little bit, but I think it's better now. Got a very unique combo of receivers that I would have, if I could check, which I might be able to check, it's probably very low owned in this tournament. Like just as is. Obviously in Bestball Mania, there'll probably be a crap ton, just the way the ADPs shift. But given this draft specifically, feel pretty confident in that. Not a lot of people in this puppy have gotten Keenan Allen in the 4-5 turn, and not a lot of people in this puppy have gotten JSN to pair with JJ. I could say that with, DJ Moore is probably all the time, but end of the day, I'm gonna have tons and tons of drafts that are just like pretty simple and like to the point. So I like taking shots and like doing something different from time to time. And if you do punt off $5, I can live with that. That's kind of, you're most likely gonna punt off most of what you're doing unless you make the finals in your contest, which isn't easy at all. So you might as well give yourself a chance and try new things. And that's kind of what the point of this channel is, to like, think outside the box. Don't think so one-dimensional. Don't group think is so common with like DFS and fantasy these days, where like everyone thinks one thing, everyone thinks they know it's a foregone conclusion, and half the time it doesn't even happen. So that's something I think about a lot, and you see it all the time with fantasy football. Everyone thinks, oh, well, this team is bad. Everyone thinks this team's bad. Everyone thinks this team isn't going to have any good fantasy options. Boom. Then you get the Seattle Seahawks from last year, where Geno Smith is a beast, and no one even picks him on their team, at least in best ball tournaments. Everyone thought it was a dumpster fire team, ended up being much better than expected, and there it is. So it's not to say that you should always go against the consensus, but just be willing to go against the grain from time to time, because you never know what gains you can find with it. So if I'm looking at my favorite RB options, they're going to be down here. So here I would be looking for the double stack for Minnesota, Traylon, Pickens, and then hopefully my tight end that I'm hoping I get, which you all know what I'm trying to get here. We don't have to say it. We don't have to even bring it to light. We all know what we're looking for. Okay. So is Jordan Addison the play here? I'm not really sure. Probably seems like the right play. We'll see what falls to me. Interesting. Where's Quentin Johnson? Oh, there he is. Oh, he did grab Quentin Johnson. All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't have to reach for him, and it correlates. And I got my quarterback, so I mean, I'm not mad about that. That's a great pick for me. So now I may be a buyer of like the Kirk Cousins late, maybe. But I'm definitely not going to force it because I know it's done all the time. So, but I am pretty happy I got my Goddard. I think he falls to like 80, 70 all the time, and I'm just going to keep grabbing him. So I usually am pretty happy. Oh, wow. See, this is something I was thinking about doing in one of my other drafts at some point. But I just think like you could do this, but like do it to a certain extent where you're not reaching too much, but you could still stack teams that line up ADP wise. Like I might even try to look into like ADPs and say like, oh, maybe I could stack Pittsburgh. It doesn't, completely make 0 sense ADP wise, and then stack the Giants, and then stack, the Ravens or something like that as the teams I want to stack. Could be fun. I'll probably experiment with that on. Maybe I'll do a couple more puppy drafts this weekend. And I'll probably record those just to kind of go through the thought process of it. But I'll probably have to do some research of like the ADPs and kind of look into it, because I think you could probably like just judging by like right now, like you can kind of like look down the draft board and be like, okay, I could do the Washington stack. You kind of mix teams together that makes sense. Like if you do teams like the Chiefs and then you do the Ravens, it's hard to do those because there's like 4 guys in the top, 4 rounds. It's not too easy to pull off to begin with. So that's another thing. But you could also take into consideration just trying a different route and going like, okay, you know what? I'm going to start with the Chargers stack, and then I'm going to add the Seattle guys the next 2 rounds, and then I'm going to add the Ravens receivers the next 2 rounds. Then I'm going to add the Carolina guys next. So it's like you're not just like reaching blindly across the board. You're like, okay, I want to check the Chargers, so I'm going to take Justin Herbert with my second pick, and I'm going to take Keenan Allen with my first pick. That kind of thing. It just doesn't make as much sense to me. When you have to reach like 8 rounds for your guy, but if if you're reaching 2 rounds just to like get your team fully correlated in a build that's very, unique and different, I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, especially if you pick the right teams that go off. Like I think, was it 2 years ago in the Bestball Mania, there was a Cincinnati and Green Bay team. Like pretty much 80% of the team was Green Bay or Cincinnati players, and that team finished like 8th or like top 20 in the Bestball finals. So that just shows you like it is a path. So it's got Bijan, Eckler, Madison, Checo. So definitely the strange drafts are out and about right now. The drafts are out and about. Yeah, so this is when I like grabbing my running backs the most in a 0 RB. Even a little bit before this is good, but this is my favorite running back range for RBs right now. It's Rashad White, Javonte, James Cook, Charbonnet, A.J. Dillon, P. Ryan, B. Rob, Antonio Gibson. All of them are super, super fun. So is there a case where I could like if I got like Bateman or something, then I could stop at receiver. But I might just tack on 2 at the end and call it good there. Yeah, that makes more sense. To a Waddle. Watson unstacked. Not bad, not bad. I usually like taking Charbonnet, but I might go a different route this time with like the AJ Dillon stuff. I think I know my preferred options here if I could choose the 2. And I'll go like on correlation side for it. But if I don't get my choice of 2, then I have some backup options. But we'll see. I think I'll get him. This guy's been doing some. Oh, just kidding. Let's hope I can get Javonte. That's fine. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm gonna go with James Cook and AJ Dillon here. Yeah, I do take a lot of Charbonnet, and I feel like he's a good bet, but I could be much more confident in them 2 getting a workload. Maybe you could argue, I guess AJ Dillon probably has the same amount of upside as Charbonnet, just depending on how things go with Aaron Jones. But Charbonnet, you just kind of have that like lottery ticket where you just don't know what he's going to do. But given the fact he's a rookie, he has good draft capital, he's on the Seahawks. Kenneth Walker has got hurt a few times. Either one are good bets, but I think if both are healthy, Kenneth Walker will obviously be the lead guy. But any injury to either of them kind of like makes the other one like instantly like a 2nd round pick or a 3rd round pick. So there's value to both of them. I think if you're taking Walker, you're just hoping he's the lead guy the whole year and stays healthy, and you're probably happy with that price. And then Charbonnet, you're just hoping he ends up being the receiving back, and then just like taking like 40% of the work. And then obviously anytime Walker misses, he'll play a lot. So pull up the draft board more. So starting off with Justin Jefferson, Jalen Hurts, Keenan Allen, reached on him a bit, DJ Moore, JSN, Jordan Addison, Dallas Goedert, and then my 2 first running backs, James Cook and AJ Dillon, to round out my team. So I feel pretty good at every position at this point. It's just kind of right now is when you decide, what kind of running backs you want to take, what range you're looking for. Do I take Cousins next pick? Is it worth it? It's hard to say. Rashad Penny's a fun pick as well in this range. So we'll see if I could get Gibson / Penny. And I think if either of them fall, I'm just smashing them. 2 rookie receivers that I feel have very strong upside this year. Charbonnet goes 107. I like that. Maybe not on a 5 running back team, but I do like it. I still feel like he did decent with his team so far. It just feels like a lot of running backs. Metcalf at 14. Lockett at... Oh, I probably stole his JSN he wanted. See, people are kind of doing the same thing I was just talking about. But I'm gonna do some research and kind of like find like maybe the way you can stack teams without like having to reach too much, but also doing the same thing. and is stacking teams that may have, upside this year. Maybe that's impossible, but I'm sure there's a way to make it work. Kind of lining up like, oh, here's the Steelers time. You take Steelers in round 7 and 8 or 5 and 6, whatever. You kind of like go from there. Probably an optimal like draft position too to do it as well. You don't want to do it the 101. Probably sacrificing too much if you're doing it that way. All right, Brian Robinson goes 7 picks away. Kirk Cousins is on the radar. He's on my radar as well. Probably off the rookie running backs right now for this pick. Rashad Penny does fall a lot. I feel like Penny's the goal line back by far, and then Swift's just there, and then one gets injured, Gainwell probably gets some more work. Or they just use all 3, regardless. Okay, Cousins goes to a unstacked. Seems legit. The guy already had. Doesn't matter. I didn't need Cousins for this team. In fact, it's probably better that I don't get him. I don't mind Daniel Jones at 120 though. Okay. Don't speak of a quarterback or they will be gone your next pick. Hopefully Penny doesn't go. Every person I just wanted just left. All right, that's fine. That is fine. Elijah Mitchell for sure. And then Shane or Herbert. Gallup. I like Gallup. I think he's a good value. I think he just was banged up last year. I actually think he's a really good player. He's that guy like that you can see getting like 2-3 touchdowns any week. Obviously Dallas offense may throw it less, but
you'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
Oh, Siri's talking to me. I think there's a good chance he's just I think that's what he's always been. But last year he was obviously coming off a major injury. He is pretty young, as far as I understand. So if he does end up, providing some value this year, he could be a guy who scores 2-3 touchdowns. And Brandon Cooks is going to be solid, but he's getting up there in age. So I don't mind taking a bet on Gallup because I don't know if Gallup could really jump over Brandon Cooks. I mean, he could, but there's also just a chance that he just ends up being, someone that just scores a lot in random weeks and is valuable in that way. But I also think Brandon Cooks get hurt or, he's healthier, so he's much better than he was last year. And you're getting him at like a 20 pick discount from last year. And they lost Dalton Schultz, and there's definitely targets to be available that won't all go to Brandon Cooks. Dak, Brandon Cooks team. Solid pick at Shane there, though. Got the Baltimore double stack. I had good value. Probably a little more running back than I would like right now, but it's a pretty good team. Getting a Chain at 14 picks after ADP is pretty nice too. A Chain is pretty, hard to determine bet as well. It's one of those guys that just he could literally be nothing, and they just use Jeff Wilson and Mostert all season, and he's just kind of there. Or he could just be pretty quickly just become like an absolute weapon for them then on offense. It takes them to a new level with just speed all over the place. God, it's gonna be fun to watch the Dolphins. Definitely need to get my bags on Dolphins up, like, for sure. Like, that is just such a fun team to watch. At least I hope so. With Tua healthy, ideally. Seems like such a fun team to watch. I would take Chig and just stop at tight end if he's there. Is there anyone I like as my second quarterback here? Gino already went to the team at like, what was that, like one? He went pretty early, 110. I see he goes around ADP. Russ goes to Judy Oder. Jalen Warren goes. That sucks. I kind of wanted Jalen Warren here. I haven't been taking much Roshan. It could be a Roshan team. Okay. I think I know who I like in this range. Chig goes. Roshan. Dang, Tank's gone. That sucks. I kind of want to Tank Bixby too. Lots of options I like here. Okay, yeah, Rashid Rice was falling pretty far, surprisingly. All right, I'm Roshan here. And then I don't really particularly like any of these tight ends that much. I'm at 168 next. That doesn't feel great in terms of getting Carr. I'll grab I haven't been taking much Devin Singletary, but I'll take him. Feels like probably the best receiving, the running back option available there. This could be a good Michael Wilson team too. I just remembered that Philly-Arizona game. Could just stop at 7 with him. I'd like to figure out my last quarterback though. Well, I do have an option there too. I have a few options. I could do you always got the Mac Jones, Hunter Henry in your back pocket at least. That's something I always, tend to gravitate towards, but I could just kind of push it at tight end. There's a lot of guys back there that are completely usable. I'm also in the camp of Dawson Knox being mispriced again. What if you see Dawson Knox go back up to where he was? That would be crazy. Get like a short discount period on him. Jaden Reed goes. So there goes my back stack I was looking at. Unfortunately, well, it's still available. Just a little less attractive now. Mostert's there. We have Jerome Ford. We have Jeff Wilson, Chuba Hubbard, Tajay, Gus. Chandler, Clyde, CPAT, Josh Kelly, Keontae, Travion, Malik. I like Malik Davis a lot. I may not be taking a bunch of them, but I think he played pretty good last year. He should be the second running back in the pecking order on that team. Okay. So about 13 rounds through: Jalen Hurts, James Cook, A.J. Dillon, Elijah Mitchell, Roshan Johnson, Devin Singletary, JJ, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, JSN, Jordan Addison, and Michael Gallup. Dallas Goedert, tight end. So trying to figure out right now my favorite course of action in terms of like what I want to do at quarterback for my second quarterback and my tight end for my last tight end. Tons of tight end options, just trying to figure out a way if I can make it work with my second quarterback as well. And my options are just getting a little slim in doing that. I could do Bryce Young, Hayden Hurst. Could do Mac Jones, Hunter Henry. I don't think I'm going to worry about that. I think I'm just going to grab a tight end I like and just go from there. That'd be a decent team to get Kenneth Gainwell on as well. Make a bet on the Eagles offense and one of the running backs getting there. So I don't dislike that at all. I'm totally up for Mac Jones if I can get Tyquan Thornton at 170. Otherwise, I'm probably just going to grab some random quarterback at the end. I know what my two preferred options are here. I don't think I'm going to get the guys I want, but I do have options that I like. Jerome Ford is interesting too, just to grab, but I do like some running backs back here that are, still interesting to me. But if I can get the two guys I'm looking at right now, I'd be pretty happy about that. Like, I'm not saying it as if it makes a difference or like someone's watching this like live, but it just feels better, inside to not say what I'm picking. This guy always takes what I like. Woo! I will take all of that. Thank you very much. So I can stop the tight end now, and I have a back stack set up for my quarterback. That is a great feeling. Even if it's a Mac Jones single stack, I am completely fine with that. Is Ty Montgomery a running back on this? He's a receiver. Okay. If he's a running back, I probably would take him on this team. But I guess the real question is, do we want to take an extra receiver or just tack on a tight end to the end of this team? Because we have 3 picks left. One of them is going to be a running back. Probably 2 of them. 2 of them are going to be running backs, and then I just take a quarterback and be done. I think that's kind of all I have bandwidth for on this team. 2 running backs, quarterback. I wish I had more picks because I would take Michael Wilson and some other guys, but I think this probably makes more sense to do it this way. Just to start looking at my options here. So we got Kenneth Gainwell as my top option for filling my running back position. And then I could do I'll probably would just take Mac Jones then, and then I could take, my pick of the backup running backs in this area. Kyron seems pretty interesting. People I'm more confident are the backup is Zamir White. Might be the end of the list. Zamir White, Keontae. That might be the play. Keontae might be a really good play just to tack onto my team. Fits my build a little better. That might be the route I go instead. So I feel pretty confident in him being the backup this year. Arizona depth chart. Conner could get sat, get put on ice early in the season. So you got James Conner, Keontae Ingram, Corey Clement, Tyson Williams. Like, I guess he could be Tyson, but I don't see it being Corey Clement. And, if the team does stink, it's going to be Keontae Ingram playing a lot. So I'm selling myself on Keontae Ingram more and more now. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm starting to sell myself on it. All right. Lots of running backs available. Just think about Bestball is like you always think there's a good opportunity to draft, and it's always going to feel like a good opportunity because it's just so fun. It's always a blast. Every single draft is different. Pretty much every single, even if you're taking similar people, every draft throws a different, wrench at what you're doing. It's so fun. If you made it to this point of the video, go ahead and make sure you tap like button, subscribe if you haven't already, if you are new to the channel. I do post Bestball content a couple times a week, and I stream once or twice a week as well. Maybe ramp that up once the season gets closer. Just go ahead and let me know what your favorite stack is, what your favorite team stack is. Do you like stacking the Eagles? Do you like stacking the Panthers? Do you like stacking the 49ers? The Chargers, the Ravens, the Jets, Buccaneers, Raiders, Colts. Just let me know what your favorite team stack is. All right. So hoping we can round out our team with Kenneth Gainwell, Keontae Ingram, and Mac Jones. So you have a 2-7-7-2 build, pretty standard stuff there. Get a lot of receivers early, get some running backs late, get 2 solid tight ends, and 2 solid quarterbacks. Or at least 1 elite and 1 decent. That's what I feel like I'm getting out of this team too. So. All right, here we are. Let's hope we could still get the guys I want. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, please. This guy's a rogue drafter. Can't be too sure what they're gonna do. Great. Okay, cool. So I'll get Kenneth Gainwell and Mac Jones. End this draft with hopefully Keontae Ingram. If not, I could take Michael Wilson. I could take Tyjae if he's there. CPAT, Josh Kelly. There's tons of options. I'm not too worried about it. Travion. So another running back I like more in the swing. Trey McBride. James Robinson. I guess it's not a bad time to take James Robinson if you're interested in that. Kind of curious what the depth chart looks like on that team. That's one I would definitely want to monitor because I feel pretty good about the number 2 on that offense, whoever it may be. Okay. So they got Ramondre, James Robinson, Pierre Strong, Ty Montgomery. So if that is how it stays, I feel pretty good about it. I think Pierre Strong could jump over James Robinson. That's where I'm at least. I was taking a lot of Pierce Strong earlier, but now I feel like there's just other options that are much smarter that will not net me 0 points. And that's kind of my goal, is to avoid taking zeros, even though I do some weird stuff. Ultimately trying to avoid the zeros. And those zeros are those like running back 3s, running back 2s that are really fringe. Once you get some certainty about the running back 2s and they're still cheap, that's when I like taking them. And I feel like Keontae should be locked in as a running back 2, and I feel like he's just undrafted for, I don't know why. I feel like he should be drafted higher. I'm not sure if he should be much higher, but I think if everyone's kind of leaning into the narrative that like Kyler might not play this year, Keontae Ingram makes a lot more sense than James Conner. I mean, they could just run James Conner into the ground, but you know, he's hurt often. And if he misses even if he misses 1 week and you get a Keontae Ingram 20-point game, he already paid off his draft capital. And there's just an upside for more. And I would be surprised if he doesn't have like one game with like 20 points or 15 points. Assuming Connor misses. If Connor doesn't miss a game, he plays all season. First of all, James Conner's probably a smash. And Keontae Ingram would just be, there. He'll probably get work, but he'll just be there. Playing snaps. Running the routes, as they say. Okay. Yeah, there's just love Bestball, man. There's so many things that go through my head, just like opportunities for like new thought processes, or just trying new things straight up. It's just super fun to try new things and just play around with new strategies. It is addicting. Trey McBride. All right. Hopefully none of my Arizona guys go. I mean, I'm going to get one of the running backs I have queued, but there's really only one guy I actually want to get right now, so I'm hoping I get him. And he's at the top of the queue. I'm never confident, unless it's like one really off the table guy. I'm never confident I'm going to get the guy I want, because there's just always a chance that you lose out on, a good value that you like late. I think Izzy's not a bad pick if Brees misses like a week or two, like it gets you some points early on in the year. And they didn't really seem too sold on Michael Carter on that team, so I don't hate that at all. Just like taking a bet on maybe Brees misses 2 weeks and I get 2 weeks of Izzy. Start my team off well. But that's a good team to like put Jahmyr Gibbs on or something. Same with Kendra. Kendra could be good early and then like slow down towards the end of the year. But the classic 2-7-7-2 build, always a fun time. Latavius Murray. Haven't seen him picked very much, but he actually could be relevant. Josh Palmer goes. Keontae. Perfect. Pretty sure I drafted Keontae Ingram. Just doesn't like me. Yeah, I definitely drafted Keontae Ingram. It's weird. This like little thing at the end of the draft is kind of strange. We'll see if I make sure I actually picked the right player. Yeah, it just glitches at the end. I'm I'm pretty sure I got the guy I wanted. Yeah, cool. All right, gonna name my drafts. You can kind of see my naming process if you haven't seen that yet. Looks like I'm 50 drafts deep in the post-draft contest. I didn't do too many pre-draft contests, but I do have some fun teams that we can go over maybe later in the year. I will do some like lineup reviews and stuff like that at some point. I think that'd be fun to mess around with, but yeah, fun times. Appreciate everybody hanging out. If you did hang out and watch the whole video, I really appreciate it. Even if you skim through it, always appreciate the love and support on these videos. I'm just trying to do something fun for myself and maybe provide some content to even a few people, and make it an informative setting for fantasy, or even just a fun setting to just relax and hang out and chat. Best ball and things that are minuscule in the grand scheme of things, but still a lot of fun and things that people care about and are passionate about. And I just absolutely love that. That's what we always have to remember with fantasy. Just we're passionate about it, but just always remember it's a game. And obviously in these ones, when you put your money on the line, it should mean more to you. But end of the day, it's all a game still. So if you're not having fun with it, then you're probably doing it for the wrong reasons. When obviously I want to win money, but I also have fun with it. So it's like a win-win situation because you find the enjoyment factor and you have the chance of more. So that's the way I see it. But even if you were really sharp and you just thought you could win money, then all more power to you. But I think on my end, I don't want to take it too seriously, even though I enjoy it and I want to win and I want to learn strategies, but like I can't get too worked up about it just because it's fun and it makes me happy when I draft. So I'm not going to be the one to complain about something that is just this enjoyable to begin with. So just a little tangent there. It doesn't really nothing too actionable there, but anyways, I'll stop rambling. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your night, day, evening, whenever you're watching. Much appreciated. We'll be back soon with some cam streams, probably either next month or in a couple weeks. Today is the 10th of June. July is right around the corner, and as soon as we hit August, we're pretty much 1 month away. So it seems far away, but I think the season is going to be sneaking up real quick, just like it always does. So I'm looking forward to that, and I appreciate everyone hanging out. Have a good rest of your night, and peace out.